Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. Happy Friday, the 13th of May. And it's time for a store review. As you can see, circling the garage there is the M60. We'll get to talk about that tank here in a second because it's for sale this week. First, I want to talk about the Battle Pass. I am on level 55 of 60. The reason I want to talk about it, number one, they've reduced the number of levels from 80 to 60, and then they've changed how the missions work. You know the drill. You get everything on the top row for free. If you buy the premium pass, you get the bottom two rows, which usually is about 3,000 gold and a tier 6 tank. This is the Charles French tank destroyer. I've done a review on it if you want to check that tank out. Now, the difference here is that we have another tab just for missions, broken down by the 4 weeks. You've got 6 missions. Each one of these has 3 levels to it. So you can get 18 levels done per week. Now, the difference is you can purchase a license which allows you to have 2 consecutive weeks open. And that really helps with grinding this because if you look at, some of these here, to be among the top 3 players in damage, playing Supremacy in a light or tank, you can get all 3 of these done at the same time. And it also extends over to some of these other ones here. There's Supremacy and Encounter. So it would go towards those as well. So it's kind of nice to have both of those active at the same time. I would like to know if anyone buys the premium pass today, let's say, is week 1 still available? I would like to know the answer to that question. It would be interesting to know. And you can see here, 3 of the 4 weeks done halfway through. This one opens on May 15th. And then I'll be done with the Battle Pass halfway through the month. So I like that too. It's not a full month of having to log in and grind. I can get everything in half a month, and I'm pretty happy with that. So let's jump on over to the store now. $3 for that license, $5 for the premium pass, so $8 all in. If you want to jump up 20 levels and get everything else, you can do that for $20. Not recommending that. We'll talk about the tanks a little bit later. Since it's here, we'll talk about the object 2684. You've seen it on the battlefield by now. Big ass gun and so much frontal armor. Looks like a really fun to play it. I struck out last week on whatever the tier 10 tank was, um, because for a person like me, having this much gold, 103,000 gold, you know, I don't have a lot I can spend it on. So I spend it on crates, and I think I spent 3 or 4. I can't remember now, but I didn't get the tank. Obviously, it's a 4% drop chance. But what I did notice is that the gold seems to hit higher levels the first couple crates that you open. I had a fear of missing out on the Object 268, so I did spend the 16,000 gold for 12 crates. First crate I opened 5,000 gold. Second crate I opened 1,000 gold. So in 2 crates I'm thinking, great, I got 6,000 gold back. Still only a 4% drop chance. There's no charms, so there's no guarantee of getting this tank. The next 10 tanks, there are crates that I opened, 200 gold. No tank. So again, very disappointed. Um, and I strongly suggest staying away from the crates if you can, if your willpower allows it. For me, it doesn't always. So just wanted to point that out. There is some gold being returned in those crates on a fairly consistent basis. Now, do not pay gold for camo. Do not pay gold for boosters. Only pay gold or only pay money to get gold. It's really simple. You can see these deals here. This one is 400 gold per dollar, and you're going to end up with a nice set of boosters as well. This is 15 bucks. 400 gold is slightly above average on the deal. You can see this running start here. You can buy it 5 times for a dollar, 500 gold. We're starting to get up there. That's a nice, better return on your money. And that's the way we always look at it. 2K, $5, 400 gold. Okay. So let's move on down. See, these deals aren't as good. You're only getting 500 gold for $3, 6,000 gold for $20. So deals there are not as good. You need to take close attention to how much gold you're getting per dollar. Really. Another way that we like to get gold on the cheap is to purchase some of these collector tanks that they put in here. So $4 for the Valentine 2 is going to get you 7 days of premium, some 5x boosters, and here's the kicker on this one. So you're going to get 50 gold boosters. We know that that is at least 500 gold. You could, if potentially, turn that into 1,000 gold. But for purposes of this analysis here, we're going to assume that that's only 500 gold. You can turn around and sell this tank for 1,500. So 2,000 gold for $4, 500 gold per dollar. If you want to go that route, if you already have the tank, you will automatically get credit for the gold. If you don't have the tank, you can play it for as long as you want and then decide to sell it and then get the gold. So nice little way to not lose much money. Seems like this duo of tanks shows up like every other week. Chrysler K, the tank I love the most out of this matchup, and you can see here they're both tier 8 tanks, and they're selling the Chrysler for 75 and the IS for only 6. Gives you an idea of what other people think they're worth as well. Great face hugging tank, great side scraping tank. Difficulty is playing this thing on hills. You really got to have buildings and hardcover to play this tank well. But you can just bully other people by getting in their face. The frontal armor on this thing is amazing, and the mobility is what's really sets this apart from these two tanks, in my opinion. So, if you're one of these people that likes having good tanks, I wouldn't necessarily call us OP because it's very situational depending upon the map. I do recommend the Chrysler K. Do not recommend the IS-2H. Yeah, you get a discount buying them in the bundle, but they're the same damn tank, essentially. Just one's better than the other one. The Hydro. This is interesting. $6. Wonder how much this thing sells for. 2,400. So we'll do the math on that. That's 400 gold. Fun little tank. I was going to get you 14 days of premium time and some boosters. Not a tank you're going to play often or frequently. It's got good mobility. Okay gun. Not much in the way of armor. So just leave it at that, I would. But you can obviously sell any of these collector tanks for some decent gold. Tier 8 WZ111 Chinese. Heavy. We kind of talked about the fact that there are so many tier 8 heavy tanks very similar to each other. I mean, slightly pike nose. It's really just so much like all the other ones. So, if you're not an avid collector of tanks, then I would stay away from it. It's not as good as the Object 252U. So just leave it at that. 5,500 for a tier 8, obviously a decent price. Moving on, the M60, 17,500. I will tell you guys that this was for sale at the Christmas auction for 15,000 gold. So if you want to wait for Christmas, you can save a little bit of gold, but the price isn't bad for a tier 10 American medium tank that just does everything slightly above average. It's a fun tank to play. I've enjoyed it. It does come with an order here. Let's see what you get on this order. Just 5 collect 'em all containers. But hey, nice little tank. It's going to make you some credits. And if you like that medium gameplay, not a bad tank. Not a top OP tank, but it's not horrible either. So we got some tanks that are going away here. We've got the Brave Platoon, which is the T-4485, and the Loza Sherman. And, this is, I just wanted to use this Loza Sherman here, which is a Tier 6 medium tank, very, very similar to the Fury. You probably wouldn't even know the difference if you had your eyes shut and were driving it around. But then again, you probably wouldn't be able to do very well with your eyes shut. Anyway, what I was going to say here, depending upon how you're buying your gold, this obviously really makes a difference as to what the price is, right? So at 3,000 gold, if you're buying gold at 350, this is $8.50 for the tank, right? But if you find a deal for 500 gold, it's only $6 for the tank. So it really gives you an idea of how it compares in price to the Fury there, and really why I like to talk about getting the most gold for your dollar when we're looking in the store for some deals. Talking about these tanks, yeah, the Fury is certainly a collector item. The Loza Sherman, again, I would only call it a collector item. T-4485 might be a tank that you play a little bit more frequently at Tier 7. So the price is pretty good there for that tank, I would say. And the Matilda, I just don't like how slow this tank is. But hey, for a Tier 5 for 2,000 gold, get yourself a collector tank that's going to earn credits. Not a bad deal if you like slow, heavy tanks. Moving on to gold, I feel like I've talked about this too much every week. Just make sure that you're buying the best deal here. The more you spend, the more gold you're going to get. They did have the 2x bonus for a while. It's still hanging around. Make sure you use up those first. The esports, if you've got any coins from playing in tournaments or ratings battles, which they're not doing them for ratings anymore, but for your tournaments, Centurion Mark 5.1, this is a great tank. To be able to get this just for coins would be absolutely amazing. The M4 FL10, if you don't have that many, I like this tank. It gets a bad rap from people, but when you have an active auto loader that has 1 second between shells, you really catch people off guard when you can put like 3 shots into them in 2 seconds. But outside of that, just your average tank all around here. So, premium time, make sure you're opening your free containers. And yeah, we get into this, just container galore down here. You can figure these out. They're not the greatest deals because, hey, it's gambling on containers. And we've seen how that's worked out for me for the last 2 weeks. So with that, guys, we're going to end this store review, rambling on. Hope you have a great weekend, guys. And, of course, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.